Yo, what is good, everybody? Game for Days once again, and I'm excited to have a little E3 hype video here. And before I get started, I just want to let everyone know I made a Twitter. If you give a fuck, if you have a Twitter, if you care about what type of gaming thoughts I might have when I don't have time to make a video, I'll probably just post it on Twitter. Because, making a video, it takes time, it takes effort, and I have a lot of random thoughts that I don't want to put into a video or aren't worth putting into a video. So I have tons of thoughts, depending on, how many followers I got on there. I don't have any right now, but depending on the type of activity I start seeing on my Twitter, I might start using it. And E3 is coming up, so, if I get a few followers, interacting on there, I might tweet out some of my thoughts, tweet out some news, over E3 time. That'd be pretty fun, but we'll see. We'll see if I end up using it in the long run or not. So let's get right into it. E3, man. E3 is here. E3 is upon us. It's exciting. It's exciting. As gamers, this is pretty much one of the best times of the year for gamers. We get all these new games announced, all these new IPs announced, gameplay reveals for games we've known about, new trailers, fanboy wars back and forth. I mean, the fanboy wars are just, they're deliciously entertaining. They are so fun. Everyone's just bickering back and forth. Sony had the best conference. No, Microsoft had the best conference. No, Nintendo did, you freaking Sony pony idiot bitch. And I mean, it's just great. It's just great to just be a part of that. It's just so much fun. And I'm gonna be weighing in on the conferences for sure. I'll crown a victor. Really, the two that I am focusing in on the most are Sony and Microsoft, because really, those are the two big hitters, because these conferences, the Sony and Microsoft conferences, are huge this year. This is a pivotal turning point. We're getting to mid-generation, and so, these conferences will determine, who's going to be picking up these consoles in the next coming years. This is a big, big E3 that might have price drops and all kinds of games getting announced. And the stakes are high for both Sony and Microsoft. And the reason I'm focusing in on those two conferences is because those conferences are what makes up owning a PS4 or an Xbox One or both. You know what I'm saying? These conferences will determine whether or not people are going to own these machines. And that's why I'm focusing in on it, like a Bethesda conference or a Square Enix conference, or what was the other, like a Ubisoft or an EA. Those conferences, they're all third party, they're all multi-plat. Those games can be played everywhere. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. So that's really why I'm excited to see Sony and Microsoft, because there's hardware on the line as well. With all that being said, I'm going to start off talking about Microsoft. Now, let me just get this out of the way. I have very high expectations for Microsoft. Now you might be thinking, well, Game for Days, why do you have very high expectations for Microsoft? I'll tell you why. Three reasons. Number one, personally, I don't have an Xbox One. And I'm looking for any reason to pick one up, because at the end of the day, I'm a gamer. I'm looking for great exclusives from Microsoft, and they haven't done that yet this generation. I'm sorry, but the Xbox One lineup is trash. It's garbage. There's nothing on there right now. There's no reason to own that system in my eyes. No reason whatsoever. So I'm looking for Scalebound gameplay to blow me away. Crackdown gameplay to blow me away. I want Gears gameplay. I want Halo 5 campaign gameplay to blow me away. I want a couple new IPs as well from Microsoft. That's what they got to do to blow me away. It needs to be first-party game after first-party game after first-party game. All kinds of gameplay reveals, stage demos, gameplay trailers, I don't care. But the time is now for Microsoft to show us what they got. They're behind, they're hurting, they're getting their ass kicked, and the only way for them to make it up is by bringing the games. And people are going to jump on if they bring the games. You see, Xbox fanboys can't seem to figure out why the PS4 is selling, right? It's because it's the better system. You could debate all day back and forth about the library, but the Xbox One's library is shit. That's why it's getting outsold by the PS4, because their libraries are roughly similar, and so there's no real reason to pick up an Xbox One, because the exclusive library is not hard hitting. It's almost non-existent. So I think, Microsoft brings the games, they're going to get the gamers on board. They're going to get me on board if they blow me away, right? But I have my PS4. I made that choice when Microsoft shot themselves in the foot at the beginning of this generation by launching an overpriced shitty console. I made my choice a long time ago. PS4 is my default system. Therefore, Microsoft has to work extra hard to earn my cash, to earn my support, to earn my gaming time on that system. They gotta bring the exclusives, plain and simple, right? My time is limited. You gotta wow me with the games. It's that simple. So that's my first reason, is just personally, I'd like to buy an Xbox One if it has amazing exclusives. It's that simple. Second reason I have high expectations for Microsoft is because Microsoft themselves. Microsoft is not being shy about telling everyone how great this E3 is going to be. They're thumping their chest pretty hard, and it's raising my expectations. Talking about putting up things like, see the greatest games lineup in Xbox history. Oh yeah? Is that so? See, when I see things like that, my expectations shoot up. And I have no choice really but to expect greatness. If it's like last year's, let me put it this way, if they put out promos like that and it's on par with last year's, I'm going to laugh. Because last year's was shit. So Microsoft is pimping the fuck out of their E3, and it better be good. Reason number 3, Xbox fanboys. Now I know this is stupid to have high expectations because of Xbox fanboys, but hey, they're loud and obnoxious, and they're just telling us all how great the E3 is going to be, how they're going to kill Sony, and it's already over, it's already decided, Microsoft's the victor. And let me tell you something, if Microsoft comes at us with another E3 2014, you better believe I'm going to make a video dedicated to slamming the Xbox One and Xbox fanboys. If all this hype turns into another mediocre conference, you better believe I will be doing some laughing. So that's my view on Microsoft right now. Let's talk Sony, right? Because I'm a PlayStation guy. I've pretty much been a PlayStation guy since I've been gaming. PlayStation is my bread and butter, man. It's where I always end up falling back on with gaming. It's just what I like, man. But Sony does not get off the hook just because I expect things from Microsoft. Quite the contrary, man. Sony needs to bring it this E3. Sony needs to wow me. Now I get it. AAA game development takes time. And I get it. A lot of their first-party studios released games very recently. Within the last year or at the very beginning of this generation. So they're in a, redevelopment stage. They're currently working on projects for the PS4, and I get it. But it's 2015. It's been we're going on 2 years since the console launched. It's time we blow the lid off all these apparent first-party, brand new IPs and new games that are in the works for PS4. It's time. If not at E3, then this year. But I expect 2 or 3 big AAA reveals this year from Sony. In fact, I basically demand it. If I don't get at least two big AAA reveals from Sony's first parties, I'm going to be very displeased, and I'm going to voice my displeasure because that's unacceptable. It's time they blow the lid off these projects and let us know what's going on. Right. Guerrilla Games' new IP. Media Molecules' new IP. Sony Ben's new IP. A God of War 4 trailer. Maybe a Gran Turismo trailer. These are all first-party games. It's time we hear what's going on. In addition, of course, we're going to get, Ratchet and Clank footage, Uncharted footage. There are all kinds of games in the pipeline for PlayStation. A lot of unannounced projects, and it's time we hear about them. And I have high expectations, man. I really hope Sony tells us what's going on because we didn't get much word of anything last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us thought, we're going to see Guerrilla's new game or Media Molecule's new game or, Sony Ben's new game. But we didn't really get much of the first-party stuff last year. We got Uncharted 4 revealed last year. But, come on. Everyone knew that was coming, man. It's time. It's time. And that's why I say this is such a pivotal E3 because if they show us what they're working on, it's going to set a precedent for the future of the console. So those are my thoughts, man. Actually, it's looking like I'm going to have that Monday off. So, There's a chance I might tune in live after all. I wasn't planning on it, but I just may. I'm starting to get engulfed in the hype, so I just may tune in. One thing I like about Microsoft is they put theirs on Spike TV. That's convenient. That's good. I don't have to bother with streaming sites. Yeah, Sony should take notes. That's a great way to do it. Period. So Microsoft's got that down. I'll check out a stream for Sony's later in the day. It looks like I'm going to end up watching pretty much everything live this year. Don't think I'm working that Monday, so I'm just going to be on my computer pretty much all day, just taking in all the news as it comes. I hope you guys are excited for E3. You know, it's just a great time. Almost a week away, man. It's, I'm starting to get engulfed in the hype, man. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'm about to get back to some Last of Us Remastered online. Just incredible online play. The most addictive online play I've played in years. So I'm getting back to that on my day off. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.